Welcome back to Walsall Fan TV. How is your summer? We're all trying our best, aren't we? Things are a little bit quiet from Walsall, which is a little bit disappointing. I'm going to get onto that and my thoughts in a second. But let's talk about some of our expected incomings, shall we? We hear from Pete O'Rourke that one of our players that we'd mentioned, Connor Barrett, had filed or flied. I can never get that right. 22-year-old right wing back, 2 goals, 11 assists for them last season in the National League. Walsall were after him last pre-season, but Floyd wanted a fee, but with his contract up, he's now open season, and Walsall perhaps have got their man, so that's good. Now we have talked on the channel about the Morecambe connection with Ben Sadler coming in as the CEO. One player that I think we could be landing and giving some solidity to that right wing back slot is Joel Senior. He's 24, 1 goal, 5 assists last season. Played in all the games, regular part of the team. I think he would be a real good addition. And alongside Connor Barrett, the two of those competing for that right wing back slot will definitely strengthen Walsall. We know Tom Knowles has moved on. And I think everybody loved Tom Knowles, but his end product did let him down. And the fact that he's dropped down the leagues sort of explains sort of the level he was at, really. If the goal he scored against Sheppey was a regular thing, then he'd have been moving in the other direction, but wasn't to be. Goalkeepers, Jackson Smith. We really want him to stay, don't we? But it does look like he's not going to be signing for Walsall. Barnsley has been suggested as a possible. Might even have a loan back. But I think if he's leaving Walsall, he's leaving. Some options. Louis Malden comes from the same place. He's a former Wolves guy who's just been released. 6'3" keeper. He's had time with Northampton, Rochdale, Solihull Moors and Ebbsfleet. He's actually played more games than Jackson Smith and the same age. So that would be a good low-cost addition, I think. Would we be happy going into next season with him as our number one? Perhaps. But I think he needs some another experienced keeper. Adam Smith is a Morecambe keeper who's just been released, 6'4". Played just 13 games for Morecambe. They did sort of change the goalies around a bit. Stuart Moore was in there as well. He's previously been with Northampton and Bristol Rovers. Good experienced keeper, not the best at 31, but I think would be a good backup for somebody like Louis Malden. Another possible is Tommy Simpkin. Tommy Simpkin is on a long-term deal with Stoke. He's just 19. He could come as a potential backup for some game time. Had 1 game for Stoke last season, but 18 games for Solihull Moors was a good start to his experience. Still very young. We know keepers sort of need a bit of time to find their feet, as it were, or find their hands. I don't know. So that's those. So I think of those 5, I think 4 of those could very well be very close to joining us. Looking again at Morecambe, we need to boost our striking options. And Jordan Slew, he's 31. He would be a good player to have up front. Jamil Matt has signed up, but he's not going to play every game for Walsall. We know that. So another guy like Jordan Slew perhaps might be the one. 8 goals, 5 assists last season. He's not a spent force by any means. And I guess the reason he's moving on from Morecambe is down to their financial troubles, I would think. There's a left wing back as well, David Tutonda. 2 goals, 3 assists for Morecambe. He's rejected an offer from the club, from Morecambe. Maybe he wants paying every week, perhaps. Cheek of it. So that's a possible backup if we were to sign someone like that for Liam Gordon, who, of course, has scored for Guyana. We hope he scores more for us next season. But Guyana, he came back from Guyana sort of with lots of confidence last time. And I think we will get more out of him next season. I certainly hope so. There's a midfielder as well that's available, or possibly available from Morecambe. JJ McKiernan, 7 goals, 2 assists. Just played 31 times. Made the step up from Eastleigh in the National League really well. He's just 22. Would be a good development project for Walsall. But we have got quite a strong midfield. Hutch. I'm going to talk more about Hutch in a little bit. But let's have a look what else we've got available. Some of the players I've been looking at. Centre halves. Do we need to boost our centre half ranks? Jordan Tunnicliffe was released from Wrexham. He's 30 and he's still available. His mate Ben Tozer, 34. He was also released, but he's joined Forest Green. Ferrand Rawson, 27. Really great centre half. Currently with Morecambe, or I think exiting Morecambe. That would be a good one. Stiffen us up in the centre half ranks. Donovan Daniels, has he got another full season in him? That's a question. Another left wing back that I quite like the look of was Ryan Haynes. We looked at him before. He was released by Northampton. He did really well for him in League Two, but didn't really feature in League One. But we hear he's signing for Cheltenham, so that's one that we can cross off. More midfielders. If we needed to replace Hutch, is Hutch going to stay? We certainly hope he stays, but there are some rumblings about a reduced budget and Walsall needing to sell before we buy. So if that is true, Walsall have 2 options for bringing extra money in. One of them is to sell our prized asset in Isaac Hutchinson, and the other is a windfall if Elijah Adebayo got sold by Luton. So if we did need midfielders, where could we go? Charlie Lakin played for Burton he's with Burton, but last season was at Sutton. Went to Sutton, second half of the season, scored 18-21, trying to keep them up. Charlie Lakin at 25, he's at a good age. Ollie Clark is one that we thought about, but he's gone to Swindon now. Let's look at some more strikers, shall we? Matty Stevens. Is he going to join up with Jamil Matt? That's a definite no. He's joined Wimbledon after being out of contract and having no contract renewal at Forest Green. I think it's maybe reducing their budget. Maybe that's what you do when you go down a division, not when you're trying to get out the other way. George Lloyd, he's another one, but he's gone to Shrewsbury. Regan Linney, 13 in 31 for Altrincham last season. That's very good. Bit of a bad boy. Got a bit of a bad boy reputation, but at 27, he's starting to settle down now. So that's another possible. Who else we got? Paddy Madden. He's gone to Chesterfield. Good addition for them, that is. Nathan O'Connor. Nathan Odo Canero for Ebbsfleet. He's one that's sort of starting to show what he can do. Just 2 goals in 16 for him last season. But at 21, good development player perhaps, isn't he? Right then, final one, Sam Hart. Did well for Sutton last season. Left wing back, another left wing back. So that's some of the possibles, some of the expected, perhaps. But I'm going to have a bit of a rant now. It seems everything's gone quiet at Walsall. Rumblings are that the budget has been cut by 15%, which equates to about 3 or 4 good quality League Two players. So if you imagine from last year's squad, Riley, Oughty, Owen Evans and Rowling all going and not being replaced. So they didn't get many minutes, but it puts pressure on the rest of the squad for any injuries, doesn't it? So the squad being tightened up isn't necessarily a really bad thing, but it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing either. It's not all about the budget, as we know. Crawley, Carlisle, Stevenage, they've all sort of got promoted on much smaller budgets than we've got. But we know what happened to Carlisle, straight back down. But Stevenage going really well. And what's happening with Dan Watson? The rumour is that he's on his way. Walsall starts scoring from corners for the first time in about 20 years, probably more longer than that. And then he gets pulled away. Why have Walsall let him go? Is it right that we should let him go if he's moving on up to better things? Or should we be trying to hold on to people? All in the garden. Is it rosy? It doesn't feel that rosy at the minute. The fans forum is coming up at the end of the month. How about what the 2 Bens going to have to say? Ben Boycott. I think the honeymoon's over for Ben Boycott. Because we want to see progression. We want to see big signings coming in. Mo Fall, he'd be one, even though it might only be on loan. If he came in, that would be a real good addition, I think. But it's the strikers. That's where the money is. And that's where we'll suffer if the budget is as expected or as rumoured as being reduced. Right then, that's enough of me ranting. Hopefully we get some good news in the next week, and everybody will be smiling again. Right then, let's just check the comments. The Abandoned Hunter. I've been told Tommy Simpkin could be joining on a season-long loan from Stoke. Yeah, we've mentioned Tommy Simpkin. Is that the one I mentioned? I think it was. Where's my notes gone? Yeah, Tommy Simpkin. That was the Stoke guy. We signed a new lawnmower. It's a cut above anything else we've got, says Anthony Russell. Do you know, in times of trouble, we need the humour, don't we? And the humour gets us through. I did have a bit of a rant on TikTok because it's some of our socials really sort of a bit of a problem, really. We think of what's happening at Gillingham. Gillingham, a similar sized club to us, and they've got lots going on, and we seem to have nothing. 1st of June, they confirmed their backroom staff. Exclusive Anthony Hayes interviews, Pete Gill interview, update from Joe Cooper. They've signed Jack Nolan. Remember Jack Nolan? We all thought he was going to be no good. And he's moved on and done well. Gill's pre-season. Aaron Rowe, another signing, an interview with him. Pre-season ticket prices, advertising boards, all that kind of stuff. But for Walsall, what have Walsall reported? We've cut the grass. we've got the Villa coming, but not to play us, to play Club Atletico Club del Bilbao. We've got Solihull Moors. Going to go and play them. Birmingham City coming. I haven't had them here for a while. That's replacing the Villa because the Villa aren't coming, I guess. Announcing that Tommy Knowles, of course, had gone. Pulling people into the locker for the England games. And grabbing Father's Day gifts. Father's Day gifts. Will I get a Father's Day gift? I need to maybe give some prompting to a couple of individuals, perhaps. Right then, that's enough for me. Walsall Fan TV, thanks for watching. The joy and the pain. Hopefully, we get some more joy. We need it.